Tova. Welcome, everyone. It is delightful to have you all here and for me to be here for my second Rosh Hashanah and to be greeting you this year as so many people I greet as friends. And that is wonderful. And next year, there'll even be more of you that I greet personally as friends. So take a moment now, please, and just greet the person around you and wish them a Shana Tova. And I will let you know that we have an amazing oneg tonight. And so maybe at the oneg, sit at a table with someone that you don't know. This might be a great opportunity to meet someone that maybe you haven't seen in a while or is new. So we are going to begin right now on page 6. And I should tell you that if you had a book that is inscribed, they are over on the table. Page 6. Return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are born and reborn. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are born and reborn. Return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Please rise and turn to page 17. Hineni ha'ani mimash, v'ner eshet ונפחדת מפחד יושב תהילות ישראל. באתי לעמוד ולחנן לפניך על עמך ישראל אשר שלחוני, ואף על פי שאיני כדאית והגונה לך. על כן אבקשך, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל, ואלוהי לאה. אדוני, אדוני, El Rahum v'Chanun, Elohim, Shaddai, Ayom v'Norah. Here I am, so poor in deeds I tremble in fear, overwhelmed and apprehensive before you, to whom Israel sings praise. Although unworthy, I rise to pray and seek favor for your people Israel, for they have entrusted me with this task. Therefore, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God of Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, Adonai, Adonai, merciful, gracious God, who inspires awe, I pray to you for success on my path. I pray for myself and for my community. Do not hold them responsible for my wrongs and offenses. May my deeds cause them no shame, and may their deeds cause me no shame. Accept my prayer as though it were offered by one more worthy of this task, a scholar, proficient in prayer, unblemished in character, pleasing in voice. Let love be our banner, let it banish our wrongs. May Israel's strife and misfortunes be turned into joy, renewed life and peace. Love, peace, and truth, may they prevail among us, and may there be no impediment to my prayer. Adonai, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God of Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, great, mighty, awe-inspiring God Most High, who said to Moses, I will be what I will be. May it be your will that my prayer reach your presence for the sake of the righteous and blameless, the honest and pure of heart, for the sake of your glory. You hear your people's prayer with compassion. Baruch atah Adonai, shomei tefillah. Blessed are you, the one who hears prayers. You may be seated. We continue now on page 8. It is time now for us to light the festival candles, and I ask Rebecca Hurst to please come to the bima. We are on page 11.
The first mitzvah in the Torah is let there be light, so we are commanded. In everything you do, be a menorah, a bringer of light. Live with honor, act with integrity, do your work with passion, and the radiance of your deeds will live after you. May our ideals burn bright, forever unextinguished, and may we live our lives like the flames we kindle, always stretching upward, striving for the good, reaching for you.
We continue with the Shehecheyanu on the bottom of page 11. We read responsively on page 12. To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven.
This is the season of the soul, a time to rejoice, a time to reflect, a time to return.
A time to gather round the table with loved ones and friends, a time for song and silence, for prayer and confession to open the heart, a time to retreat to our sanctuaries within, a time to renew the life and spirit of our community.
This is the season of repentance, a time to notice what is old and what is not, a time to regret, a time to forgive, a time to remember cherished dreams and high ideals embraced by reality.
This is the season of hope, like mist rising at sunset, like dew descending at dawn. Our hopes beautify and nourish everything they touch. Our hopes make us partners in creation, pursuers of peace, people who aspire to a world of justice.
This is the season of awe. When our eyes behold it, may we feel blessed. When we turn toward each other, let us feel strength. When we seek the holy, may we find purpose. May we find courage. May we find love.
Page 15, please rise for the sounding of the shofar.
Baruch Adonai, Shomea kol teruat amo Yisrael, Barak Hamid. Tiku b'kol shofar, v'hakesem yom chagenu, ki kofer Yisrael hu mishpach l'Elokei Yaakov. Hallelujah, take a shofar. Hallelujah, take a shofar. Hallelujah, take a shofar. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, take a shofar. Hallelujah, take a shofar. Hallelujah, take a shofar. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Elohim Victor,
Tekiah! Please remain standing as we announce the new year on page 19. Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Yehi Ratzon Shnir Zakeh L'brichatenu b'shnat chanishat alafim sheva me'ot shiv'im v'tesha. Our God and God of our ancestors, may we know your blessings in the year 5779. Eternal One, bless us and the whole house of Israel with renewed life, happiness and peace, comfort and courage, resilience and strength. May the words of our heart be acceptable to you in the new year that stretches out before us. We are forever grateful for the gift of life. Page 20. On page 22, we continue reading together. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your great name fills the universe with majestic might. Your words create twilights and dusk, as your wisdom opens the gates of night. Your discernment separates the changing seasons and causes the passages of time. The stars arrayed across the sky reveal your design. You roll out the cycle of darkness and light, shaping day and night. You sweep away day and carry the world into nightfall, setting day apart from nighttime. You are God of all we can perceive, all that is beyond our perception. Page 24. Please be seated, page 28. Asher We continue responsively on page 33. To break the bonds of anger, to be generous of heart.
To break the bonds of shame, to live with self-respect.
To break the bonds of envy, to serve one another in joy.
To break the bonds of boredom, to be attentive to all activities.
To break the bonds of fear, to live with courage and strength.
To untie the knots of betrayal, to love with fullness of being.
To break the bonds of loneliness, to receive a hand of hope.
To break the bonds of self-centeredness, to extend a hand of help.
Released from the darkness, our people found their freedom at the sea.
And we pray for liberation at the dawn of this year.
shelter me and my family beneath the shadow of your wings. Keep us safe and lead us unto life with you. And through every storm, you will keep us warm, filled with love and light. Watching over us, you will carry us safely through the night. Crashing eddies, we lay down and go.
Adonai Elohim,
Shall bring you a shadow of thy wings. Keep us safe and raise us unto life. Let our flame through every storm keep us warm. We'll find that love and watching over us. Carry us safely through the night.
It is now my pleasure to introduce to you someone actually you should know already, Nathaniel Hers, the president of our congregation.
Thank you, Rabbi. Can you hear me? Good. So, welcome everyone. On behalf of the board of Anshai Emeth, I, Nathaniel Hers, board president, along with the rest of the executive, vice president Steve Marks, treasurer Beth Uretsky, and secretary Tina Miller, along with our rabbi Brian Milko, wish you a sweet and meaningful new year. I want to offer a blanket but heartfelt thank you to everyone who helped us to prepare for the holidays. There are too many individually, and rather than name anyone, I asked finding out who helped and thank them yourselves. For instance, who helped with the oneg that follows this evening's service. I'm sure that they will appreciate it. And offering forgiveness, preparing with goodwill for true and lasting repentance, and if you are the temple president, asking for money. If you have a practical, if you enjoy practical explanations, you might think that the main reason I'm making this appeal now is because this is a good time to reach a large portion of our membership. As more mystically inclined, I'd like to think that the real reason I'm asking for funds to support our congregation is that this is an essential part of the spirit of the season. Teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah. That is repentance, prayer, and charity, we are told during the high holidays can avert the bad decree. Actually, none of the English words I just offered really captures the sense of the Hebrew, perhaps. Tzedakah, which is called charity, literally means something like righteous behavior, but somehow it came to signify providing for those in need. In preparing these remarks, I read on the Judaism 101 site that the obligation to perform tzedakah can be fulfilled by giving money to the poor, to healthcare institutions, to synagogues, or to educational institutions. It can also be fulfilled by supporting your children beyond the age when you are legally required to, or supporting your parents in their old age. Not surprisingly, supporting synagogues was the part that jumped out at me. This appeal is a call for you to perform tzedakah. How nice is that? And we need your support now, and we always will. I won't say that we need your support and your tzedakah now more than ever. I'll just let you know that we need it, and as long as Anshai Emeth is your Jewish home in Peoria, we will need your tzedakah. So as you came in today, there were donation forms. There's a letter from me asking you to consider offering some tzedakah, making a contribution, and there's also a list of all the funds that you can contribute, explaining a little bit of the purpose of each fund. So please do pick one of those things up, especially the donation form, on your way out this evening. And I should also let you know that if this is not the time, you can stop by the office at any point and talk to Sally. You can call her up or email her. She'll be happy to help you with this. I'd like to end by saying something that I've been wrestling with, which is why is tzedakah linked with teshuvah and tefillah as being essential at this time of year? I think it is that they reflect different aspects of one process, genuine renewal. Teshuvah, repentance, is the aspect that looks to the past. Tefillah, prayer, is what we are doing now, or will be again in just a moment, in the present. And tzedakah is about the future. While our tzedakah, we hope, bears fruit in the future, it is only likely to feel meaningful to us if we have examined our past to find our values and held those values up to our present needs and concerns. If we do that and can find a place for Anshai Emeth in our tzedakah, then your gift will not only help us, it will enrich you. Shana Tova, and may we all be inscribed in the book of life for a good year.
Page 43. Israel, prepare to meet your God. The moment is here, but I am unprepared. How does one get ready to meet what may not exist? The pious ones of old would wait an hour before praying to focus their thoughts on the Holy One. Technicians of the sacred, the sages, had their own proven methods. Rava would take off his fine outer cloak, clasp his hands over his heart, and pray like a servant before his master. Said one sage, look toward the earth during prayer, but direct your heart to heaven. I can position my eyes and my hands. Where is my heart tonight? One should pray the standing prayer only with a sense of reverence and awe. Remove trivial matters from your thoughts. Approach God with a clean and open mind. And the Hasidim teach, think not of your own needs and requests. Focus on the pain of God who suffers in this troubled world. If you cannot find the faith, then doubt is your gift. And if you can't find the words, offer your silence instead. For so it is written, silence is praise to you. Page 42, please rise as you are able.
Eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elokei Avotenu V'Imotenu, Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Elokei Yaakov,
Please be seated. We continue on page 49. How do we sense God's holiness? We read together. And so, in your holiness, give all creation the gift of awe. Turn our fear to reverence. Let us be witnesses of wonder, perceiving all nature as a prayer come alive. We bow to the sovereignty of your strength, the primacy of your power. We yearn for connection with all that lives, doing your will with wholeness of heart. Awe-inspiring is your creation, all-encompassing your transcendent name. How do we sense God's holiness? Through honor, together. And so, in your holiness, give your people the gift of honor. Bless with praise those who praise you. Bless with hope those who seek you. Give your believers a basis for faith, true happiness for the land of Israel, true joy in Jerusalem. May the sparks of David, your servant, soon grow bright enough for us to see a beam of light in the darkness, a promise of perfection. How do we sense God's holiness? Through righteousness together. And so in your holiness, give the righteous the gift of a vision bright with joy, a world where evil has no voice, and the rule of malevolence fades like wisps of smoke. Good people everywhere will celebrate the stunning sight of arrogance dawn from the earth. We continue now responsively in Hebrew and English on page 52. V'timloch ata Adonai levadcha al kein ma'asecha, v'har Tzion mishkan k'vadecha u'v'Yerushalayim ir kodshecha, k'katuv b'divrei kodshecha, yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohayach Tzion ledor vador, hallelujah.
You and you alone, Adonai, are the name of creation. Upon Mount Zion, home of your presence, and in Jerusalem, the city set apart by you. As the psalmist will lead, Adonai will reign eternally. Your God, Zion, for all generations. Hallelujah.
Kadosh ata v'nora shmecha, v'ein Eloah mibaladecha kakatuv, v'yikva Adonai tzvaot b'mishpat, v'ha'el hakadosh mikdesh b'tzedakah.
You are holy, your name is all. There is nothing divine beyond you. As the prophet Isaiah taught, the source of all might is exalted through justice. The God of holiness made holy through righteousness.
Baruch atah Adonai HaMelech HaKadosh.
Blessed are you, Adonai, holy sovereign.
And the English on page 53 we read together. You chose us with love to be messengers of mitzvot, and through us you made known your aspirations. Among all the many peoples, you gave us a pathway to holiness. Among all the great nations, you uplifted us and made yourself our sovereign. And so we seek you and serve you, and celebrate our nearness to your presence. Your great and sacred name has become our calling. Page 54, we continue responsively. V'titein lanu Adonai Eloheinu b'ahava et yom hazikaron hazeh, yom Teruah mikra kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. In your love,
Lord our God, you have given us this day of remembrance, a day to show our joyful sound, a day of sacred assembly, a day to be mindful of our peoples coming out from Egypt.
Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, ya'aleh v'yavo v'yig'ah v'yira'eh v'yiratzeh, v'yishma v'yifageh v'yizacher, zichronenu ufokdenu, v'zichron Avotenu v'Imotenu, v'zichron Yerushalayim ir kodshecha, v'zichron al amcha beit Yisrael, l'fanecha l'flita l'tova, l'chein u'l'chesed u'l'rachamim, l'chayim u'l'shalom, v'yom hazikaron hazeh.
God, the tribulation before us, may the memory of us ascend and come before you. May it be heard and seen by you, winning your favor and reaching your awareness, together with the memory of our ancestors, the memory of your sacred city, Jerusalem, and the memory of your people, the family of Israel. May we be remembered for safety, well-being, and favor, for love and passion, for life and for peace on this day of remembrance.
Zochreinu Adonai Eloheinu bo l'tova, ufokdenu bo l'fracha,
Amen.
v'hoshienu bo l'chayim.
Amen.
Eternal our God, remember us.
Amen.
Be mindful of us,
Amen.
and redeem us for a life of goodness and blessing.
Amen.
Favor us with your words of deliverance and mercy. Show us the depth of your care. God, we await your redemption, for you reign with grace and compassion. Page 57. This is the season of God. This is the season of our humanity. And this is the day when one word stands at the very center of Jewish prayer. Maloch, 3 Hebrew letters, Mem, Lamed, Chaf. Reign over space and time, Maloch. Reign over the infinite expanse. Show us your reality. Help us see our finite place in the cosmos that is our home. What is God's sovereignty? What is God's rule? It is the rule of unity by which we sense coherence in the universe. It is the power of relationship, relating every image of God to every other image of God and to every facet of nature. Sunshine and ocean waves, heartbeats, honeybees, the stuff that stars are made of. It is the ultimate power that governs our lives with wisdom, compassion, truth, and kindness. In this season of God, may we breathe new life into the ancient name Melech HaOlam, and may the ruler of the universe breathe new life into each one of us. We continue reading together on page 58. God, who is ours and God of our fathers and mothers, lead us to holiness through your mitzvot, and may each of us find a portion of Torah that is ours. You bestow such goodness, teach us to be satisfied and to know the joy of your salvation. Help us to serve you truly with purity of heart, for you are a faithful God, whose truth stands forever. Baruch atah Adonai, melech al kol haaretz, mekadesh Yisrael v'yom hazikaron. Our praise to you, Eternal One, whose power pervades all the earth. You bring holiness and to people Israel, and to this day of remembrance. Page 60.
Ritzvei Adonai Eloheinu, Be'am Yisrael, U'tefilatam Yehovah, Tikabeh, U'tehil Ratzon, Tamid avodat Yisrael,
Page 62, let's read together. God who is ours, God of all generations, to you we are grateful forever. Rock and protector of our lives, Your saving power endures from age to age. We thank you and tell the tale of your praise, your power in our lives, your caring for our souls, the constant miracle of your kindness. Morning, noon, and night, we call you goodness, for your compassion never ends. We call you mercy, for your love has no limit. We call you hope, now and for all times. Page 64, together. And for all these gifts, God of majesty, may your name come to be blessed and praised, our gratitude a daily offering until the end of time. Inscribe your covenant partners for a life of goodness, and may all life resound with gratitude and faith in praise of your name. God, you free us and strengthen us. Page 66. Please take a few moments for your own personal prayers. page 72. We continue now with this blessing for healing. I will read a list of names, and if there are any additional names that you wish to say aloud, please do so as my hand will go around the room. We're thinking tonight of Dan Levin, John Miller, Caleb Schwartz, Janet Rosenberg, Catherine Lambert, Griff Garmers, Maddie Biddleman, Randy Smith, Carl Hirsch, Susan King, Ruth Season, Helen McLaughlin, and Linda Eisenhower. Others you were thinking of?
Ron Yellen and City Hall.
Janet Lambert, Jim Scott,
Cecilia Arquette.
Suzanne Meyer Stewart, Mary Walker.
Okay.
Jesse Elsner,
May the Eternal One who blesses all life bless and strengthen all of us who struggle against illness. May we whose lives are touched by illness be blessed with faith, courage, love, and caring. May we experience the support and sustenance of family, friends, companions, and community. May we be granted restful nights and days of comfort. We pray for refuah shlema, precious moments of healing and a sense of wholeness in body and soul. May those who care for the sick with their hands, their voices, and their hearts be blessed with courage. May those who pursue healing through the medical skill and knowledge be blessed with patience and compassion. May all of us, the sick and the well, and hope, and let us say, Amen. We are going to, page 245. Page 75. Avinu Malkeinu, a prayer for renewal. We will read this responsibly. We haven't forgotten Avinu Malkeinu. And we have no great liking for absolute power. Akiva stood before you in a time of drought, and his words went up like a flame on the altar.
Avinu Malkeinu, you alone are our ruler. Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion for us.
He was humble and forgiving, so his prayer was answered. Tonight we speak again in a time of drought. Dry ground beneath us, no water, only rock.
Not hunger for bread or thirst for water, but hearts that are longing to hear God's voice.
For the sea of faith is all but gone. The tide's gone out on the empty beach. The world mocks our hopes, and life tests our courage.
Why do the wicked live on and prosper? Why are you silent when they prey on innocent?
And if your dominion is kindness and justice, why is it creation in so much pain? Avinu Malkeinu, sustain our souls, send rain to our roots, help us find a way to pray.
Make us humble and forgiving, ourselves and one another.
Avinu Malkeinu, renew these words, help us to speak them with conviction and believe their truth. 100 generations have stood before the ark, and they lifted up their voices like flames on the altar, and they put their trust in kindness and justice, and they gave their strength to make the promise real.
Avinu Malkeinu, we haven't forgotten. Avinu Malkeinu, brings us back to you.
Page 75, please rise. Wait, guys. Please wait. Ark openers? Mercy and your family, are you here? Oh, you know what? You're great. Let's open it anyways. While you're up here. My mistake, we have another ark opening coming, and it began with an A2, so I just saw the A and kind of this one. Now you read, sorry.
Avinu
may all be seated. Ma nishtana halayla hazeh. What is different about tonight? Why are you here now and not on other nights? You don't like that question, huh? Interesting, okay. Well, let me tell you, I am asking these questions because rabbis and congregational leaders are always asking these questions, always trying to understand what compels you to come into the building and what may be of no interest to you at all. We ask it not because we want to guilt you into coming here, maybe, but because we want to better understand how to make this place, this holy building, more meaningful to you. And to be honest, we've been asking the same question for millennia. I once came across a letter hundreds of years old in which the rabbi lamented that people don't come to temple anymore, and they talk too much during the services, and they don't contribute enough money. Nothing new under the sun. Well, the questions have always been the same. The answer takes different shape in each generation as we continually experiment with new paradigms and programs. We change the music and the service times. We change the prayer book. We hold services out in nature. We have whiskey tastings at Oneg's. Maybe coming up, I don't know. We Twitter and Facebook and have glossy brochures and colorful web pages. None of this is bad. In fact, it's all critical to growth and to keep Judaism relevant and vital. But all of this only goes so far. In an era of pop-ups and flash mobs, podcasts and web streaming, the role of the synagogue is changing. When Google can answer most of your questions and the internet can connect you to sages across the world, what can the community temple do to remain current and relevant? When families are busier than ever, is the time commitment to be a part of this community realistic? We have lots of organizations and activities that are competing for our attention. The book club, the YMCA, your child's soccer team, and even the Game of Thrones binge watching on HBO. So what does a congregation offer that you can't find at your book group, at the YMCA, or at Starbucks? It is simply this: we have been, and we always will be a sacred community. A sacred community that provides an opportunity to find meaning, purpose, relevance, and fellowship. Building and sustaining sacred community is the core business of Anshai Emeth. Increased membership, better fundraising, creative programming are all necessary, but they are the byproducts of a strong, sustainable, sacred community, not the essence. In sacred community, we can examine 4 crucial aspects of what it means to be human. What is the meaning of life? Why are we here? Is there a God? What is the relevance? Do I matter? Do I matter to God? Purpose. What is my role in this world? And kihila, community. Will I have someone to celebrate and to commiserate with me? Someone to lend hand and heart? I will tell you that I don't have any answers. Even though I am a rabbi and this, so to speak, is my business, I ask the same questions that you do. Like you, I am also trying to find meaning and relevance in my life. In his book, The Days of Awe, the Jewish writer Agnon retells this Hasidic tale. A man had been wandering about in a forest for several days, not knowing which was the right way out. Suddenly he saw a person approaching him. His heart was filled with joy. Now I shall certainly find out which is the right way. When they were near one another, he asked, "Friend, tell me which is the right way. I have been wandering about in this forest for many days." And the other one said to him, "Friend, I do not know the way out either, for I too have been wandering about here for many days. And now let us both look for a new way out together." At one time or another, each of us is lost in the forest, stumbling to find our way out. And as we read in our Friday night liturgy, the only way out is by joining hands and marching together. And by this simple act of holding hands, we begin to forge genuine relationships. And relationships are at the heart of any sacred community. A couple years back, there was a book published that has become very popular with rabbis and lay leaders. It has been fodder for many sermons, and it has been studied by many temple boards. There are webinars and Facebook pages devoted to it. The book is entitled Relational Judaism, Using the Power of Relationships to Transform Judaism. The author, Dr. Ron Wolfson, has devoted his entire career to studying American synagogues, trying to discern the best practices and principles that help congregations thrive. From the press that the book has received over the past few years, you might think that it has novel, revolutionary ideas that will transform and save Jewish communal life. I wish that were true. While his book is important and very useful, it is not a unique and innovative book. There's no revolution to look forward to. There are no instant magical answers. Frankly, Wolfson is preaching to us what we already know, but have overlooked in our searches for success. His message is simple, and I will sum it up for you in just a few sentences. He believes that people stop frequenting the temple because they don't find sufficient meaning and because they have not yet forged significant relationships. There are many reasons for this, and the answers are complex. But at the core, he believes that by focusing on relationships between each one of us and by extension between us and God, by doing this, we will be traveling on the right path. A successful, sacred community cannot be measured by the bottom line. A successful congregation is, however, measured by its capacity to create connections, relationships, and meaningful spiritual encounters. The successful synagogues are not necessarily the one with the most members, the most creative programs, the growing endowment. Rather, he reminds us that a successful congregation is the one that is built by cultivating sincere, deep, caring, dynamic relationships, one person at a time. Anshai Emeth is a strong, successful congregation, but we have the potential to be so much more. In Genesis, we read, Vayomer Adonai Elohim lo tov heyot hadam levado. It is not good, God says, for a person to be alone. The synagogue is the place where we should be able to come to feel less alone. For many of you, this is already true. You have formed lifelong friends who are with you to share the joys and sadnesses of life. Of course, a temple provides essential services for the community, baby namings and bar mitzvah, a community to observe the yahrzeit of a loved one. But the essential work that we do here is not building attendance at Shabbat services, although I will not complain about that. But the essential work that we do is about forging friendships, commitments, and trust. And how do we do that? It begins in the most simple way, by talking and by listening, by sharing our stories. It is not about Twitter or Facebook or Google Hangouts. We talk, we listen, we share, and we grow. As we get to know each other, the small talk soon gives way to stories, and the stories we tell form a bridge between us, and eventually we develop a bridge that is strong enough to sustain our trust, and we are able to share our hopes and dreams, disappointments, joys, and sorrows. And if we can't share all that here, then where can we do it? This is a never-ending, always evolving process. It is not an item on a checklist to be accomplished and then forgotten about. In sacred community, there is the opportunity to develop the relationships and to develop our relationship ultimately with God. This is the essence of relational Judaism. Now, I know that relationships don't form automatically and easily, and that small talk does not always lead to close friendship. However, in a sacred community, we can provide opportunities to share our lives in a comfortable, non-threatening, meaningful way that will facilitate the development of closer ties. Ultimately, I don't want you to just be a member here. I want you to feel that you belong here, and here belongs to you. This is your home. I want you to feel and care about the person sitting next to you, and know that the person sitting next to you cares about you. Many congregations are experimenting with ways of creating stronger, more vital, sacred communities. And in the coming months, you will be hearing and learning more about relational Judaism as we try to better understand how that paradigm can make Anshai Emeth even stronger. And there's one thing I don't want to overlook tonight. I have been talking a lot about individual and congregational journeys. However, sacred communities need to reach out as well as reach in. Ultimately, by strengthening the bonds within our congregation, we deepen our relationship with God, and that gives us the support to reach out and affect change in our world. This is something I will talk about later. But now I have a story for you. Many years ago, in a mountain village in Europe, there was a nobleman who wanted to leave a grand legacy for his hometown. After many months of meetings, deliberations, and planning, he decided to build a synagogue, the grandest and most modern synagogue that had ever been built in the town. The blueprints were kept secret, and none of the town people saw the building until it was finished. On the day the synagogue opened its doors for the first time, the entire town, as well as those from every nearby village, flooded into the vestibule. The people were astonished at the beauty, the intricate details, and the master craftsmanship of the buildings. For the first minutes, all that could be heard were, "Oh, wow, look at the craftsmanship. Isn't this beautiful?" And soon, it was evening time. A young child looked around and noticed something that no one else had. He stood in the middle of the sanctuary, and in a loud voice he asked, "Where are the lights?" Everyone was puzzled. How could their benefactor forget such an essential element of the building? The nobleman walked onto the bima, and the room was silent, waiting to hear the explanation. He told them, "Tonight, each of you are receiving a light, a lamp. Light your lamps. Go ahead, do it now." You're welcome. Yeah? So bend it and then shake it, okay? They did not have this back in the ancient, okay. Excellent. Notice how each of our lights are unique, and notice how together they illuminate the room with beauty. Beauty that can only come when each of us is here. Every time you come to the temple, bring your lamp, he told people. Each time you are here, Your place within the synagogue will be lit. And when you are not here, it will be dark. This will be a reminder that whenever you fail to attend, especially when the community needs you, some part of God's home will be dark. Each time you come here, you light up this place not only for yourself, but for everyone else. You light up this place with your special and unique light. In order to glow, this building, this sanctuary needs your light. Here today and every day, we have been given a sacred task to bring light into the world and to create the holiness of community. May the new year of 5779 be a bright year for you and your family. And during the inevitable times of darkness, may you know that there is always someone nearby to lend you light. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God lift up all of the goodness to you and bring you peace in this new year. Kain Yehi Ratzon. May this be God's will. And you may. You are welcome to take your lights with you. At least it'll be a memorable sermon. Okay, let's see. All right, well, I'm just going to give you a couple of, I'll do the announcements later. Page 82. We are going to once again open the ark, and please rise. Welcome back, yes. Yes, you brought your light with you, that's very good.
A day to love your celebration. Shalom, Sunday, create our soul. Velos, Amonu, Vishnu, Tarama. Shalom, Sunday, Kinu, Kadem. Lekor, Aleinu, Yehom, Amona. Vanachnu, Orim. Umishababim, Umarim, Lefnei Melech, Malchei Hamavim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
You all may be seated. Our thoughts turn now to the loved ones whom death has taken from us in recent days and those who died at this season in years past. Our hearts open as well to the wider circle of loss in our community and wherever grief touches the human family. Zichronam livracha. We are thinking this today of Jerome Rosenberg, Jerry Newman, Goldie Berman, Harriet Barenfeld, Irving Woloveck, Lily Lowenstein, Ted Schoenfeld, Miriam Schulman, and if there are other people.
Robert Schaefer.
Steve Barak.
May their memories always be a blessing. Right now, we'll be on page 92. Page 90, we continue with the Mourner's Kaddish. Please rise, as is your tradition, and I will just point out that there is an extra couple of words in this version for the holiday. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei raha v'alma divra pirutei v'amliv malchutei v'chaye hon uv'yomei hon uv'chaye tekol beit Yisrael v'agala uv'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'olam omei omaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei kudusha rihu le'ele ule'ele michol birchata v'shirata tush berchata v'nechemata da'amiran v'yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'ramav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yal kol yoshvei tevel, v'yamru amen. May the source of peace bestow peace upon all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. I'm just going to tell you a couple of brief announcements. Tomorrow morning, we begin at 10 a.m. It will be followed by a fish taco lunch. If the weather is nice, you can eat outside, eat here, whatever you would like. There'll be a family service tomorrow afternoon, and then there'll be tashlich. All the times are on the purple paper that is out there if you need it, or it's been sent to you in many different formats. Next week, Kol Nidre is on Tuesday night, correct? Correct. A week from this Tuesday is Kol Nidre at 8 p.m. I look forward to seeing you all back here then. When you leave today, please pick up one of these bags and fill it up with food and bring it back on Kol Nidre. You will not eat, but you will allow others to eat. There are also a couple of other pages for you, the ones that Nathaniel had mentioned, the envelope for donations, his letter, and a list of the funds, and they are all there with the bag, so please make sure you get all the pieces of paper that you need. I think that's all I need to say, other than we're going to do Kiddush and Motzi up here in just a minute or two, and then please join us all for a wonderful oneg this evening. Sponsored by board? No, not this one. Okay, that's my mistake. Sponsored by all of us. How's that? All right. Anything else I must say today? No. Good. Adon Olam is on page 94. The Kiddush for tonight can be found on page 79. We will follow that with Motzi and a closing benediction. Lynn.
Some of it you'll recognize and some of it you won't. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei uri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bacharanu mikol ha'am, v'romemanu mikol ha'sham. V'kidashanu b'mitzvotav, v'titen lanu Adonai Eloheinu be'ahava, et yom hazikaron hazeh, yom teruah mikra kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'charta, Ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, u'devar ha'emet v'chayam le'an. Baruch atah Adonai, melech al kol ha'aretz, mekadesh Yisrael v'yom hazikaron. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu, v'kiyamanu, v'hivianu l'zman hazeh.
And we have double challah so that we may all have a double portion of goodness in the new year.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, v'te'ahom.
Thank you. Okay, I meant you could just take a piece.
I was gonna take it too.
Oh, aren't you good? All right. Page 98. A blessing for the new year, which we will do responsibly. Our God and God of all generations before us, may it be your will in the coming year to grant us a year of abundance and atonement.
A year of blessing bestowed and received.
A year of community and compassion.
A year of life and exaltation.
A year of enlightenment.
A year of friendship and forgiveness.
A year of going up in gladness to the land of Israel.
A year of health and healing and humor.
A year of inner strength and well-being.
A year of joy and Jewish celebration.
A year of knowledge and learning for its own sake.
A year of love between parents and children, friends and spouses, brothers and sisters.
A year of mitzvot and moments of sweetness.
A year of nature protected and enjoyed.
A year of optimism and hope.
A year of peace, pursuit, and perseverance.
A year of quiet and tranquility.
A year of rain and season.
A year of song and spiritual growth.
A year of Torah study and Kulam.
A year of understanding and unity.
A year of vows fulfilled and violence overcome.
A year of wisdom acquired and shared.
A year of coexistence among the families of the earth.
A year of young and old reaching out to one another.
A year of signing the load with light for us from all the world.
Our God and God of the generations before us, grant us a year of gratitude to you for the most profound of blessings, your gift of life. Together, our God and God of our ancestors, eternal God of all generations, may your presence in our lives this new year renew our spirits, renew our strength. May it be a good year. May it be a sweet year. L'shana tova tikatevu b'techatenu. May you be inscribed and sealed for a good year. Shana tova. You may leave your books in the pews. We'll need them again tomorrow. And it is time for our oneg.
Rain came at the right time.